Hey everyone, I'm Joshua Orro, the Mustang Prince, and welcome to Mustang Prince Oral Reports. Well everyone, it's time for yet another adventure in Swan Lake. And man, I can't believe I blogged almost every single film in the Swan Princess franchise ever since 2014. And still, to this very day, A Royal Family Tale is still my most popular blog ever made. However, ever since the magical pink carpet event that me and my sister attended last year, I've made it a goal to look into the classic hand-drawn animated trilogy and make a special countdown video after the 10th movie is released to DVD this year. However, aside from said 10th movie and the in-development live-action remake, I've heard news of spin-off series starring Jean-Bob and his animal friends. But we're not here to talk about that. For today's episode, thanks again to a suggestion from one Liam Howley on Facebook, we're going to look at the third and final hand-drawn animated movie in this underrated fairy tale franchise, and see how it holds up today. Released to home video on August 4th, 1998, the movie is The Swan Princess 3, The Mystery of the Enchanted Treasure. So, let's get started. During Odette and Derek's festival days at Swan Lake, an evil sorceress named Zelda, who was another partner of Rothbart, plans to wreak havoc on their kingdom by stealing the forbidden arts. As part of her plan, she captures a yaki bird named Whizzer, who has the ability to imitate any voice after hearing it only once. Threatening his life, she sends Whizzer to Swan Lake as a spy. There, Whizzer overhears that Derek did not destroy Rothbart's notes on the forbidden arts. So, Zelda kidnaps Odette and demands that Prince Derek hand over the forbidden arts notes in exchange for Odette's safety. The prince must then face Zelda in an exciting showdown to rescue his beloved wife. So, what do I think of the movie? Well, I really enjoyed it. I mean, sure, it's not better than the first movie, but it is a major improvement over the second film. But to further explain why, let's move on to Mustang notes. Not only was this the last Swan Princess film to use 2D traditional animation, but it was also originally the last film in the series to have been rated G until Royally Undercover and Kingdom of Music were released. Plus, after the movie, the franchise went into a 14-year-long hiatus, and it went from paper to pixels, starting with the Swan Princess Christmas, which, may I remind you, takes place not after this movie, but between the events of the first and second movies. Also, I think this movie takes place not too long before Elise was adopted in A Royal Family Tale. Also to note, remember when I said that Arthur Christmas led me to the Swan Princess Christmas? Well, believe it or not, another Christmas movie led me to the third Swan Princess film. You see, way back when I was either 7 or 8 years old, I saw a trailer for Mystery of the Enchanted Treasure when I was watching Buster and Chauncey's Silent Night on VHS, because back then, Columbia TriStar still owned the film rights to the Swan Princess franchise. And it wouldn't be until 2004 when I finally got a chance to watch it on Netflix, not long after I rented the first movie from the same company. But, on the other hand, I'm glad that I was able to buy this movie with the other Swan Princess movies from Amazon during my college age, while I was recovering from a giant cell tumor surgery. As for the animation, well, in my opinion, the animation is not bad for a 2D animated direct-to-video sequel, and it's a little bit of an improvement over the second movie, but still does not top the animation from the first film. Also, this movie's story is very thought-provoking and dark at times, due to the film mostly focusing on the villain. Speaking of which, like in the second film, it goes more in depth with the forbidden arts and what Rothbart was doing during his banishment. Now here's where we come to the songs. First is It Doesn't Get Any Better Than This, which is sung while everyone at Swan Lake is preparing for the festival days. In my opinion, this song is actually kind of fun, and I like the many things that are featured at the festival, like an obstacle course, a talent show, a petting zoo, a dunking booth, and more. Next is the movie's love song, Because I Love Her, performed by Prince Derek. I find this song to be pretty similar to the Magic of Love song due to the recycled footage from the first film, but I like how it explains how much Derek loves Odette and he would give anything for her. Plus, it's kind of funny that two biblical characters, Adam and Eve, are mentioned in one verse. Next we have She's Gone, sung by Lord Rogers, not long after Zelda ditches him. I find this song to be very overdramatic, though I do like the backup vocals that accompany Rogers throughout the song. Plus, it is pretty, weird that Rogers mentions other lovers like Romeo, Juliet, Josephine, and Napoleon. Next is the villain song, Bad Days Ahead, sung by Zelda as she tests out the forbidden arts powers of change and creation. Like most villain songs, this one is really devious, and I think Zelda has gone really, badass with her new magical powers. Plus, I think it's really devilish of how she wants to make the world her plaything, and she thinks she tops other villains like Medusa, Cruella, or Elphaba, the Witch of the West. Finally, we have my second favorite song in the film, The Right Side, sung by Speed and Puffin while trying to get answers from Wizard. You know, I think this song is really catchy, and I like when Wizard joins in later on. Anyway, let's move on to the characters and the voice actors who brought him to life. Our titular Swan Princess, Odette, is voiced again by the late Swansker champion, Michelle Nicastro. And it is sad that this was the last Swan Princess movie she voiced in before breast and brain cancer killed her in 2010. During the festival days, Odette hosts a talent show. Plus, while she may not have as big a role as her husband, I think Odette is still smart and a wonderful princess. Plus, I think she's sneaky when trying to retrieve the notes from Zelda. And I just can't believe that Odette got killed by Zelda's destroying Seeker, until Derek breaks Zelda's wand and burns the Forbidden Arts notes, which miraculously resurrects Odette. I mean, imagine how her daughter Elise would react if she found out about this. Odette's husband, Prince Derek, is voiced by screenplay and story writer Brian Neeson, who narrated the first movie and voiced Chef Ferdinand, Chamberlain, and Brody in the CGI films. like the second film, Derek is the main character of the movie. During the festival days, Derek hosts the obstacle course where the winner will become prince for a day. Plus, Derek has been keeping a little secret from Odette. You see, not long after Clavius was defeated, he and Rogers found Rothbart's secret chamber containing everything on the Forbidden Arts. And while everything else was destroyed, they kept the notes, intending to use them for good purposes. However, I do think that it was clever for Derek to tear off the last word on one of the incantations. Next we have Jean-Bob, voiced by Donald Sage McKay. In this movie, Jean-Bob has been training for the obstacle course in hopes of becoming prince for a day. However, later in the film, while Odette is held prisoner in Zelda's cave, Jean-Bob manages to help her get loose by using a knife to cut the rope. The other animal sidekicks, Speed and Puffin, are voiced by Doug Stone and Swansker champion Steve Vinovich. While these guys do not have that many scenes, I like the part where they convince Wizard to help them rescue Odette after trapping him in a knight's helmet. Also, I think the scene where Puffin chases Wizard for spying is pretty similar to when he and the other animals were chasing Number 9 in the Christmas movie and in Royally Undercover. Also, I found it pretty hilarious when Speed tries to sing Far Longer Than Forever. Next is Derek's counselor, Lord Rogers, voiced again by Joseph Madrano, who'd also voiced Scully in the later films. Now, I already mentioned that he helped Derek destroy everything except for Rothbart's notes. However, during the events of the film, Rogers tries to convince Derek to apologize for keeping secrets from Odette. Also, Rogers has kept the chest containing the notes locked in a secret room where no one could get to them. Plus, while he's being seduced by a disguised Zelda, Rogers falls in love with her, until Derek tells him of Zelda's true intentions. Derek's mom, Queen Uberta, is again voiced by Christy Landers. In this film, Uberta plans to dance the tango with Rogers in Odette's talent show. I find it kind of, funny that Uberta signs up as the Lady in Black. She could have been signed on as Black Swan, since this is a Swan Princess movie. Also, her reason to participate in said talent show is because she wants to win. However, later on, she does become annoyed due to Roger's love for the deceiving Zelda. Next we have Derek's best friend, Brumley, voiced by Owen Miller. Now, in case I didn't talk about him in my blog of the second film, in that film, he helps Derek by putting out the field fires, and he finds a suspect's footprint. However, in this film, most of the time, he's been doing silly antics at the festival while eating his sandwich. Plus, Brom has been feeling kind of concerned about the obstacle course being safe. It should also be noted that Brom has not been seen since Royal Family Tale, which makes me kind of curious to wonder what he's been doing during the events of the other 4 movies. Our first new character is Whizzer, a Yaki bird voiced by Paul Masonson. whom I've talked about in my blog of the Scarecrow. Now, this character looks similar to a crane and, well, can mimic voices like a parrot, but only after hearing it once. In this film, after getting captured by Zelda, Wizard is forced to do her bidding by not only finding out if the Forbidden Arts are still around, but she also has him dressed up like a bat and pretend to attack her, as well as having him deliver a ransom note. However, thanks to Puffin, Wizard is convinced to do the right thing. Also, I find it kind of bizarre that Wizard can imitate Rothbart's voice due to the fact that he's never heard it. Also, I understand that many Swan Princess fans are disappointed that Wizard has not appeared in the following movies, but maybe, just maybe, there might be a slight chance that he could be in the 10th movie, since he looks like the kind of bird that's found in China. So, cross your fingers, folks. And finally, we have the main villain, Zelda, voiced by Katja Zosh. To me, Zelda is the best character in the entire movie. Yeah, she is a cunning sorceress, but she has a very interesting backstory. You see, while Rothbart was banished from King William's kingdom, he and Zelda were working together to recover the Forbidden Arts until he betrayed her, just like he did with Claudius, by revealing his plan to marry Princess Odette, which left Zelda very upset, and she vows to retrieve the Forbidden Arts notes and gain the powers for herself. In my eyes, Zelda is very clever when it comes to deceiving her enemies, like when she disguised herself as an accordion slave and pretends to be Roger's lover. Plus, not only does she force Wizard to do her bidding, but she also kidnaps Odette for ransom and turns her back into a swan. Also, Zelda's magic wand has the power to create seekers to find and capture their intended targets. But after she gets her hands on the Forbidden Arts notes, she gains the powers to create, change, and later destroy. Plus, Zelda manages to trap Odette inside a fiery green dome that destroys anything that touches it. Also, nowadays, it seems that Zelda won't be the only female Swan Princess villain around, because we still have Fang to deal with. And I'm getting pretty curious of what she might be up to in the upcoming 10th movie. And now let's move on to my final words. Overall, the Swan Princess 3 Mystery of the Enchanted Treasure is one thrill of a sequel, and it is my second favorite movie in the hand-drawn animated trilogy. Though, it is sad that it was Michelle Nicastro's last Swan Princess movie before she passed away, and it killed off the franchise for the next 14 years. But despite that, the story is very thrilling and thought-provoking at times. Most of the old characters bring back lots of fond memories from the first film. Wizard is a hilarious sidekick character. The new villain, Zelda, is really badass and devious, and the songs are actually pretty decent. This is definitely a must-watch for any Swan Princess fan. And for my rating, I give this film an 88% out of 100. And if Eden Young, along with Selden Young and Richard Rich are watching, I'll be looking forward to finding out what the upcoming 10th movie has in store for everybody. And as soon as it gets released, not only will I give my thoughts on it in one of my future videos, but I'll also be making a special Swan Princess countdown video. Well, that's all for now. Be sure to join me again next time, because I feel like going back to the late 40s to look at a Disney classic that features 2 animated stories, and one of them will be mouse related. Mustang Power.